Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer
Merry Christmas.
on AM 560.
Ho, ho, ho.
The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. We saw Paperboy Love Prince participate in a recent presidential candidate forum in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm sure he was seeking the coveted union leader endorsement. He's a presidential candidate in the Democrat Party, I understand it. And this is sort of a top line of his, essentially, the main thrust of his candidacy.
We need to spread love all across the world in a real way and take that very, very seriously. If you had war, I mean, some people, when they just hear shooting outside, they get afraid. And it's not a war. They're not coming for you. You get afraid. If there's an actual war on your soil, on your home, it's the most terrifying thing. But love, inspiration. I mean, if we actually tried that, if we put $800 billion into spreading love to folks, into supporting citizens in a way that starts to regenerate that love. Because right now, we're creating more terrorists. The more war, the more energy, the more hate, we're creating more terrorists, more people that are bloodthirsty for death and negativity. Why can't we create more people that want more love, that want more unity, that want more passion, that want to see us come together and create the future that we know is possible when we're living in our highest selves as people?
Paperboy Love Prince hails from Maryland, as I understand it. Maybe you know something about what happened in that Senate hearing room. He's a candidate for president who, quote, seamlessly blends the worlds of politics and artistry, unquote. Paperboy Love Prince joins us now. Thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Paper. It's our time. One love. Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here. Just a note, by the way,
Yes.
I'm based out of Brooklyn, New York, and I use they, them pronouns. So you're actually interviewing the first ever non-binary candidate for president of the United States.
Wow, we're making history.
Whoa.
That's great. Could you just give us the backstory? Paperboy Love Prince. What's the genesis of that name? I assume it's not your Christian name.
So, thank you so much again, Dan and Amy. And basically, the name comes from, the simplest version I can give you. I was a paper boy who was crowned prince because I spread a lot of love. So, that's really where it comes from. And I was an artist. I still am an artist. Did a lot of work in my community and, did a lot of really groundbreaking things in the art world, kind of mind-bending things. And we took that same energy to the political world. And so, yeah, that's kind of where the name comes from. And I decided to use that actually when I was running for office as well, to, have that be my name, because so many folks in my community in New York here already knew me, and in the D.C. area already knew me by that. So, yeah.
So are you going to be on the ballot as Paperboy Love Prince, and are you going to be on the ballot in some way or form?
Yes. So this will actually be my fifth time being on the ballot. I've run for office in New York City for Congress in 2020 as the first non-binary person to run for Congress in 2020. Then I ran for mayor in 2021, where we got 80,000 votes in New York City's first ranked choice voting election. And I ran for Congress again in 2022. And then city council this year in 2023. And so, yes, I will be on the ballot, not as a write-in, but on the ballot for office in New Hampshire as Paperboy Love Prince. And we're seeking ballot access in a few other states at this time. So, yeah, this will be the first time ever in New Hampshire and first time for president, but I will be on the ballot and folks will have the opportunity to vote. In fact, when I signed up to be on the ballot back in October, it was the same day that Donald Trump signed up to be on the ballot in New Hampshire as well. So he was right there. He was in the room about 30 minutes right before me. And, so we went through the same process. So Yes.
All right, and you're running as a Democrat, right?
Yes, I'm running as a Democrat. And part of the reason behind that is I identify maybe more as an independent, but I'm sure, as you all know, the two-party system, basically, they have so much power in every state. So the best way to kind of, have a platform to speak out about that and try to change that is, unfortunately, through that system. So I'm running as a Democrat.
How are you being received? I mean, are people taking you seriously? And
What do you mean by that?
no, I mean, like, are you being received well? Are you getting support? Like, what are you hearing back from people that you want to vote for you?
Yeah, so I mean, we've been able to reach a ton of people through my previous campaigns. So what this is really building on top of that. I've run for mayor of the largest city in the country and run for Congress in the largest city in the country as well. So from that, we've had a lot of support all over in the South, in the West, overseas, in the Midwest, as well as, in that Northeast corridor, like in New Hampshire and New York and Boston area. And folks are pretty excited about it. Right now I'm the youngest person running for president, and I'm a person who speaks out against people who are like, oh, I'm young, or I'm a woman, or I'm Latino, or I'm black, and that's why I'm running. That's not what I'm, hang my hat on. For me, it's about, okay, this is actually a really different wave of energy that's coming in. This is somebody who's coming in and kind of thumbing their nose at traditional politicians. This is somebody who's coming in and is speaking out against the system. This is somebody who's doing it, and rejecting the system of big money in politics and calling out the folks who are funded by major PACs and funded by corporations and aren't actually of the people and speaking for the people. Who's calling out the system and saying, hey, we don't have a democracy like you think we do. This representative democracy allows you to vote for somebody one time, and then they make thousands of decisions throughout the week that you have no type of stay on. So, people are receiving that really well because they're not expecting it. When they actually get a chance to hear that message and hear what we stand for and see our policy platform and see the work that we've done over the years, they're like, wow, okay, this is somebody who got going right before the pandemic in the political world and then did not slow down and stepped up when the city needed them and the people needed them the most, and that's what we need more of. And folks are always talking about young people getting more involved. They're talking about people caring more about their democracy, about their country. And when they do it in their own way, in a creative way, folks are actually usually receive it pretty well. A lot of people, now I will say, when I was in New Hampshire, and we did the debate, there were some folks who, I have pictures of it, they made funny faces, or they were confused, or they were, pronouncing my name wrong over and over, or didn't understand I used they, them pronouns, so were stumbling over that. But
Well, you had a sort of striking outfit on, I saw on C-SPAN, so maybe that was something that was a little surprising. You didn't go with the traditional, blue suit sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I got a different type of style, which I think a lot of people appreciate that as well, because so many folks, as you know, feel disenfranchised by our traditional political system. They're like, oh man, like another person, like saying these same things, like I'm done. Looking the same, sounding the same, I'm done. A lot of folks where I live, less than 4% of Democrats and Republicans show up to vote in our primaries. So, and the primaries in like these overly left cities, they end up choosing who will be the elector, who will be elected. It's the primary. So few folks are showing up. So kind of what I do is I kind of like hope to give a shot of interest into this system.
Can you tell us more about this $800 billion plan you have to regenerate the love? Can you provide a little bit more context for that?
Okay, so basically that clip, and thank you all for using that. I love that because that one I was kind of speaking out of passion and off the cuff, which I really enjoy. That clip was basically in response to folks talking about our military budget and stuff with.
So you're just going to
what's going
repurpose
on.
the Pentagon budget to regenerate the love. Okay, but what does that look like? How do you regenerate the love?
So one of the things that I talked about earlier was positive reinforcement. Right now, if you do something, if you go outside and you jaywalk or you, I don't know, shoplift, right? You go to jail, you get a ticket, or you get a fine.
Here.
Some places.
Whereas
Some
now,
places,
but if
yeah.
you, right, in some places they let you go, right? But what I'm proposing is positive reinforcement. So it kind of combats that negative reinforcement. So the same way you get a fine if you do something negative, if you go and you see a bunch of trash in front of your local school and you pick up the trash and put it away, and the school safety agent sees that, say, hey, you're picking up trash? Hold up, I'm writing you a ticket, a love ticket for $100 for doing stuff for you.
Oh, I'd be
Exactly.
rich. I'd be all full of love. I pick up garbage all the time.
Wait, where do you turn in the love tickets? Where do you turn them in?
You see what I'm saying? So that
Every so like New York City would have a federally funded love budget where you could go redeem your love tickets.
yes,
Okay.
it would.
All right.
Basically, what that would do, that would cut out so many other things because we wouldn't be able to even keep up with all the people doing positive in their community. Another thing that I announced in the debate, which I'm really excited about, and you mentioned that $800 billion, this would be a piece of that. This would cost more, but it would be to give 1 million Americans $1 million every year that are doing something positive for their community throughout the year. And we'd have a system for folks to vote on it, and this would be another way to get folks more involved. But if you gave 1 million people $1 million, one, that would be enough folks that folks feel like they actually got a chance. That, hey, I might actually have a chance to get this. And it would be a life-changing amount of money for a lot of people. And what that would do is, okay, so you're a teacher that's like inspiring students and helping folks and connecting parents and helping, the community. Oh, you're a police officer that's helping out and finding new ways to solve crime. Okay, you know what? We're giving you $1 million just to highlight the same way that we might do a Medal of Honor or a Purple Heart or something like that. We're doing that with cold, hard cash. And we're setting the standard to say, when you do something like this, you're spreading so much love that we want the world to know. And we want your bank account to show it and other folks to try to copy you. Because right now we have folks copying gangsters. We have folks copying people who are doing negative things. I don't want to take any specific shots at people, but we got folks copying people who maybe shouldn't be the leaders of our society. But if we found a way to shift the balance to the other side and said, hey, Amy, you're picking up trash. Dan, you're out there talking to the community and giving back and telling them how they can have a career in radio. Here's $1 million. We already know you're good, but here's $1 million just to influence other people in your position to do the same thing. I think that government with that type of attitude, like, let's just try it and see where we go. So these are the type of ideas that I'm bringing, type of energy I'm bringing that I feel like we've never had. I mean, our president right now, he's like one of the oldest presidents of all time, if I'm correct. Right?
Yeah.
But you don't like, I mean, is there another reason why, what is he doing wrong right now that inspired you to run, besides his age?
I'm be honest, we don't have the time on this show to list all of that. But what I will say is some of the main things that Biden is doing is, one, a big part of it isn't his age, it's his attitude and his attitude towards the people. I mean,
he doesn't have the love. He's not regenerating the love, is he?
He doesn't have the love. I'm a Black American, right? And he came on the radio with a Breakfast Club. I'm bringing this up because we're on the radio right now. And he came on and he said, hey, if you're not Black if you don't vote for Biden.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did
the
say that.
audacity of somebody to say that. Like, if Trump said that, if DeSantis said that, if Vivek said that, or one of these folks, that would be running nonstop, and we would be reminded of that every election. Biden, somehow they bury that, and folks don't even know that's something that was said. I was highly offended by that. I don't remember the apology for that, and it shows in his policy. He does things to kind of make it seem like he cares, like, oh, I'm going to have a black women as vice president. Cool. Okay, cool. But what are they actually doing to help the community at all? Like, folks don't know. They can't point to it. And if you look at how people feel, I mean, it's harder. I live in New York City. I'm sure it's similar in Chicago. It's harder than ever to be able to afford to rent an apartment for somebody just coming out of college.
Yeah, maybe you need to connect with that the rent is too damn high party guy from New York City. Do you know him? Remember him when he ran for mayor?
You know what? I have some friends with him. We met a long time ago before I was running for office. When I was a young student in New York, I've run into him, and he's an example of how somebody who you think is small can make a lasting impact. We're still talking about.
That's true. Yeah, fair point. You know, you said you've done some mind-bending things in the art world. Have you ever run across Hunter Biden and his blow art?
He did have a show in
What?
Soho.
Yeah.
Yeah, first-time artist. It's a pretty big deal.
Wow.
It's the art world is abuzz with his blow art, about his blow art, you know? I don't know.
I've never seen Hunter Biden's blow art, but, you know, that it sounds like he's been very busy doing a lot of things. And Hunter Biden actually has a great strategy because he has so much crazy things going on and so many crazy news always coming up about Hunter Biden that it's hard to know what's true, what's not, you know? So.
All right. Paperboy Love Prince. He's a candidate for president of the United States, running as a Democrat. Says he's going to be on the ballot. He was at that candidate forum at St. Anselm's in Manchester. Seamlessly blending the worlds of politics and artistry. Paperboy Love Prince, where can people follow your candidacy?
Paper, yeah. It's our time. You can follow me at Boy the Prince on Instagram or my website, paperboyprince.com. And yeah, I'm all over there. So if you check out Paperboy Prince, I'm also on Twitter, but at Paperboy Love Prince on Instagram and paperboyprince.com. Yo, this has been great. Thank you all so much. I'm happy to come back anytime. So
Thank you. Paperboy Love Prince, candidate for president. We appreciate it.
Paper, yeah.
I just wanted to keep doing that.
I know. Oh, he will. Thank you so much. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.